Hello, my name is Brooklyn Hallett. I'm from Bora High School, and today I will be presenting my program of oral interpretation entitled Silence to Suicide. If you have any issues with suicide, I recommend this as a trigger warning. Cool, let's begin. In 2014, the World Health Organization released a report stating that at least 800,000 people commit suicide every year. That average is one person every 40 seconds. Suicide warning signs or suicidal thoughts include: I am sad. I feel that the future is hopeless and things cannot improve. I am bored and dissatisfied with everything. I am a complete failure as a person. I've lost interest in other people. I can't make decisions. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I can't think. I cannot overcome my loneliness, my fear, my disgust. I cannot write. I cannot love. My brother is dying. My lover is dying. I am killing them both. Suicide is a complex issue in our society, and it should be seen from everyone's perspective. So today, through the prose of Facts About Suicide by the CDC, Suicide and Suicidal Thoughts by the Mayo Clinic, and What It's Like to Lose Someone to Suicide by Catherine Cox, to the poetry of Every 40 Seconds by Patrick Roche, I Won't Write Your Obituary by Nora Cooper, and Taken by Sleep by Tyler Joseph, and lastly, with the play 448 Psychosis by Sarah Kane, suicide will be seen for what it is. Silence to Suicide, a program. 1. This is not a Lisp poem. This is a eulogy for those swallowed by their own mind. This is a call to arms, a call to speak. This is not family gatherings when I mention mental health and am told not to spoil the turkey. That it is uncouth, impolite. Better to stay silent. This is taking that silence and breaking it with my hands, with my teeth and tongue. This is people with mental illness banging our heads against the walls, not out of insanity, but to try to make some noise. You asked if you could call me to say goodbye if you were ever really gonna kill yourself. Sure. But I won't write your obituary. I'll commission it from some dead-end journalist who will say things like, at peace, better place, fought the good fight, maybe reference the ever-loving embrace of capital G God at least 4 times, and maybe quote Charles Bukowski. And I won't be there to stop them because I won't write your obituary. After his death, what I wanted to do most was to talk about Adam. I wanted to tell his story to anyone who would listen and even people who wouldn't. Strangers on commuter trains to New York City would get an earful about my beloved best friend and the perils of mental illness. Unfortunately, as I found out, suicide is an extremely taboo subject in our society. But if you call me, I will write you a new sky, one you can taste. I will write you a DIY cloud maker. So on days when you can't do anything, you can still make clouds in whatever shape you want them. I will write you a body whose veins are electricity, because outlets are easier to find than a good shrink. But we will find you a good shrink. I will write you 1-800-273-8255. That's the suicide hotline. We can call it together. 2. Suicide is not always a banshee wailing against your eardrums. It is the child playing hide and seek behind your best friend's smile. They will not wear it openly. They will not hold its hand and introduce it to you. It is always invisible. Suicide is a lonely ghost, desperate to give itself playmates. It is not a permanent solution to a temporary problem. These are so rarely temporary problems. It is aiming for a long night's sleep. After years of insomnia, it just hit me as I lay my head down. No one around. In the dark, cold night, I hear a sound in my head. A repeat track of everything you've ever said. It must be something, but it's nothing. So I just go back to bed. It's 4. Crack the door to the hallway in my dreams, but it seems the hallway keeps closing in on me, forcing me out, making me think about you and how you're gone. My mind played tricks on me. I had trouble sleeping and eating. I lost a concerning amount of weight. I cried at the drop of a hat. I was panicked that people were going to disappear from my life without warning. I reached out to anyone who had known Adam to try to tell them about his life, and well, it's hard to admit, I also had dark nights dealing with suicidal thoughts myself. No, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. That's all I ever hear. It's not your fault. It's an illness. It's not your fault. I know it's not my fault. You've told me that so often, I'm beginning to think it is my fault. It's not your fault. I know. 3. Every 40 seconds. But the clock keeps ticking. This is not a Liszt poem. This is the tea kettle rising to a soprano's screech, but you keep ignoring it to watch TV. It keeps whistling and crying, but you keep ignoring it. How much noise do I have to make when we tell you that we are suicidal? It is a cry for help, but that's not a sign of weakness. This is not a sign of weakness. This is saying that we're fighting, and we've been fighting with every weapon and fist we can find. We've crashed against the cliffside, broken and splintered, but we're still fighting with whatever we can. I'm using my voice That's all I have left. Thank you.